Couple of things today. Well, this actually is a rotifer. He's being pretty good and standing still, so I'm gonna look at him for a few minutes. And then on my other slide, I have a Dileptus, who is pretty cool. He has a long proboscis, like a long nose that he uses to stun things. Those little round egg-looking things, those are coleps, coleps, and they are like piranha fish of the microscopic world. So, hey everybody. Hey Tornor, Simon, Anita. Yeah, I was just streaming on Reddit. I don't usually stream in the day. Um, Not many viewers over there, so came over to YouTube. Actually starting to use YouTube a little more. Uh, wow, look at all those. This is well, you know what? Thanks, King Schmidt. King Klingon, sorry about that. Yeah, he does. These rotifers do. They have, look at all that bacteria. Look at that. That's little broken up algae and bacteria around a bubble of air. So that's pretty cool. How you can see the flow of it. Look, he found him a smorgasbord. Yeah, he's having a feast. Yeah, look, he gets so full he closes up, closes up shop for a few minutes. He got a snoot full. I might zoom in on that in a bit and see what that is. It'd be hard to tell while it's moving around, but it does look like spirillum bacteria. On my other slide, I have a Dileptus, he's a single-celled animal, a single-celled protist, but he's bigger than these guys who are multicellular. And he hunts with a proboscis on his nose, I guess you would call it. Look at that bacteria just pouring off. No, I think Billy. I remember I let him go. So look at that. That's pretty sharp right there. Look at that. I let him go. I do have I have a slug, a baby tiny slug on one of these slides, but I can't get him on this microscope, so it'd be hard for him to see under my other microscope. But we'll see. But no, most of my stuff, they don't die, or at least on purpose. If I don't think I can keep them, or if they look like they're struggling, I'll put them back in the water where they came from. Boy, look at that, just flowing around that bubble. I'm at 100x. Let me zoom in on this real quick. Yeah, you see all that? That's bacteria. You're seeing, if you never seen bacteria move before, that's spirillum bacteria, 100% bacteria. So that rotifers liking that. You see how you can even see them moving. Look at them. You can even see these bacteria wiggling back and forth. And these coleps right here are having a feast also. See, they getting them too. Look, you can see them gobbling them up. Look at that, like Pac-Man. That's insane. That's pretty cool. That's a diatom right there. That's a diatom surrounded by uh, bacteria. So this is how nature works. so, so this guy right here is just having a feast. Yeah, you don't even need for this. You don't need phase contrast because those bacteria you don't need phase contrast for because they're fairly large for bacteria, and you could see them. But almost all other bacteria you need special lenses. Yep. But I mean, this guy, look at the bacteria just passing over him. But basically, most people never, you go your whole life and you won't see, now you can see bacteria on slides that are prepared, but you're actually seeing live bacteria. And these bacteria are liking something that's around that air bubble. So there may be some sugar or something there that died and they just, and it kind of got stuck to that air bubble, but they're actually feeding on something close to that air bubble, and these other creatures are feeding on them. So, and I got about 2 drops of water on here, so it's kind of deep. So that's why they keep going in and out of focus. Yeah, it's a smorgasbord for sure. And I didn't notice all those bacteria when I first put this slide on. I didn't notice till this rotifer moved over there by him. But look at that. You can just see the vortex, how it spins around. Pretty awesome. My granddaughter's here. I'm babysitting today, so she's going to be in asking for a couple of things. Yeah, gingerbread. Oh, look, he just got hit in the head. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to go see if my granddaughter needs something. She's right here in the next room. Hey, girl. Sorry about that. Yeah, she got bored of looking earlier. She looks through the microscope a lot, but no, gingerbread, that is actually, that stuff popping off of him is bacteria flowing around him. See all that stuff right there? That's bacteria. And as he sucks it in, he misses some and it goes in a vortex and you can see it streaming off of him. See how it's, some of it misses and just goes around him. So that's what that is. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And you can see the bacteria, they congregated around this, and look at this spirostomum. He's coming over for a little action. But if you look, there's just tens of thousands of them. Thanks, Bert. Yeah, I was thinking about using one of those computerized voices for my videos that I record, but then so many people like my voice, there's no way I'm gonna use the computerized voice. I'm just gonna talk. But if you look, this is, even in school, you probably have never seen live bacteria. Yeah, this is, no, gingerbread, this is the bacteria right here. So you can see the individual bacteria right here. These, but to be fair, spirillum bacteria are quite large compared to bacteria. You know, you got tons of bacteria, but these are fairly large. These are one of the ones that you could see with a regular microscope. So you're looking at each individual bacteria cell. And you can just see everything coming in to feast. Oh, the details in a bacteria? Oh, you're not going to see that without an electron microscope. This right here that you're looking at is about, this is about 1,000x right here. This is about 1,000 times. Okay, and you're far from seeing detail. Okay, light microscopes are only useful up to about 1,500x, 1,500 times. And it's due to physics, you know, the physics of photons and things like that. So to see any detail in a bacteria, you need an electron microscope. That is a coleps, it's called. And they're like piranha. They'll eat bacteria and everything, but if something's dying, like one of these rotifers or a worm, they'll attack it like piranha fish. But you can see he's just having a feast. Look, see, he's just sucking up all that stuff, like Pac-Man. That right there, believe it or not, these are flatworms. So they came in, I didn't know I had any on here. Those are 2 flatworms that came by. I don't think those are Sparrowstone. I think those are flatworms. They'd have to move away from that bubble for me to be sure. Yeah, that's a worm. That's a flatworm. So he's coming around eating all that bacteria also. So you got to figure there's probably some sugar or you know, one of these creatures died and their guts and everything just went around this bubble, you know, by static electricity maybe, and it got stuck to the side of this bubble, and that's how the bacteria grew. Okay. Hey, Fire Dread. And that's how the bacteria grew. And so since the bacteria is on there, all the other creatures come to feast on the bacteria. I didn't realize I'd have so much bacteria on here, but it's a good surprise. So you could see, if I zoom out, I mean, you could see, go look around a little bit. Yeah, oh, yeah, I mean, you know, you can't count them, but you got to figure there's millions of them. Sometimes there's so many, depending on where you get your water and how long it's sitting and if it's drying up. Sometimes you'll see so many of them, you can't see anything else. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, I rarely do it in the daytime. Today I had my granddaughter in here. I'm watching her today, and we were looking at the microscope in the daytime, and then she got bored. So I said, well, let me stream for a little while during the day. So I usually stream at night with a glass of tequila. So I'm gonna put it on lower power, and I'm gonna run over to the. I got a slide on the other end of this slide, and it had a Dileptus on it. There he is right there. That's a single-celled creature, and he's single-cellular, and he hunts with that proboscis. If you follow me, you might have saw this one before. And if you're lucky and you could see this one zap something with that proboscis, I mean, sometimes it'll just cut it in half. It's brutal. Yeah, this slide, I, you can purposely kind of decide what you want on slide. So I tried to get some different things on this slide. But you can see here's a spirostomum, so I have a lot of these on both slides. And there's a rotifer on this slide right here. Let's see if he zaps that rotifer. Watch out, rotifer. You get your ass kicked. See the rotifer? That's a multi-celled animal. That's a multi-celled invertebrate animal. This is a unicellular animal. One cell. Well, look how much bigger he is than the rotifer. This rotifer's being really good, so I'm gonna use 100 times on him and see if we could see some details on him. Wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. Now, he's not as lucky as the one. Notice just on this slide, just because I got it from a different container of water or pond water, it doesn't have all those bacteria on here. And I'm just experimenting. I love YouTube's filters. If you follow me, you'll know that. So this is called Haunt, H-A-U-N-T. Pretty cool. Pretty cool filter. And some of these filters are really worth their weight in science, because look how much better you could see some of the detail from a filter and not from a lens. So even toy filters are really cool. I'm gonna have to go back to the other slide and do this in the other one and see what the bacteria looks like. So he's being so steady that I can actually zoom into him. This is about 1,000. This is about 1,000 times right here. So a lot of digital zoom in here. Hey, butt face. I think I saw you on Reddit before. Yeah, I like this filter. Let me see what else we got. Yeah, there's a handful of filters. Some are really good. This one's good too. This is called silver. I'm not sure why they stream all that digital noise through it, but it's pretty cool looking. This is Sketch, and they don't let you control it any, but this is called Sketch, so you can see it kind of looks like a drawing. Yeah, that does make it. That's right. There's one called 8mm on here. Let me find it, and I always joke about it. There it is. So this is called 8mm. Who's going to tell my joke for me? What's my running joke on this 8mm? Nobody? Nobody remembers my joke? Yeah. There you go, Tracy. What it looked like when your parents used to video. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, I used to say when I first discovered this filter right here, I said, this is what it looked like when your grandparents went to school on 8mm. And then there's some other, other non that doesn't look as good. Yeah, grandparents. Slade, Noir, Dawn. You know, some of these give a good background without distorting the specimen there. So even have some bubbles. Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, it probably was. Uh, so I'm gonna go back to normal. Hang on, there you go. That's back to normal. So now you're getting a pretty much clearer view how it looks. And let me see if I can find my Dileptus here. Hang on. Let me go out back to my smaller lens here. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll go over there. Let me see if oh look, see these are staying put. They trying to find a lot of food, and they don't have a lot on this slide. But just think, about 1 inch over, there's a smorgasbord. So I'm gonna go over there and look at the bacteria on haunt. I wanted to see, this looks like a Paramecium here. I don't have too many of them on this slide, but yeah, this is a Paramecium. So, and he's being really still, so that's good. I can zoom in on him, and you can see he's feeding. You can see the cilia around him right there. And if I remember, this one looked real good under those filters. Let me see. Yeah, this is haunt. This is a Paramecium under the haunt filter. So this is pretty nice here. And that kind of that light, bright line going diagonally in the middle of him, that's where his mouth would be considered, his oral groove. So let's go look at that. Let's go look at that bacteria over there under the haunt. So get rid of that. That whole line is pretty much where food would get sucked in. That's right. I don't know what that was. It looked like a part of a dead creature. It looked like the shell or the exoskeleton of a dead thing. Let me find that bubble again and see if we can get us any bacteria on haunt. Uh-oh, did the bubble pop? One bad thing about bubbles, sometimes they'll burst. Let me scroll around a little bit. Just because the bubble's gone don't mean we can't. Oh, there's one right there. I don't think that's the same bubble, but let's see what we could see. Yeah, this is definitely not the same one, but you could see there's still bacteria around it, but nowhere near like that other one. So let me try to find the other one real quick. Or at least I'll find a place where I think a lot of bacteria are hanging out before I put the filter on it. There's a lot of stuff here, so there might be some bacteria here. Let me check it out. Yeah, not much. Yeah, I don't see too much. Let me just scroll around in high power, see if I can stumble across some bacteria. I mean, you got some, but that bubble must have burst and spread its bacteria all around. No, I don't think it was a Cyclops. That was a Rotifer that I passed up. I don't, I checked before I came on. I didn't have a Cyclops on here, but that was just a rotifer zoomed in, sort of like this one right here. And see, this looks like the exoskeleton of a rotifer that either died. It looks like he might have shed. I don't think this is a dead rotifer. So yeah, that bubble that had all the bacteria around it must have burst. That right there, if you follow me a lot, that's a testate amoeba. It lives in that shell right there. And it looks like he's just sitting still for now. It doesn't look like he's going to do anything. This, I can't get an ID on him. I have a couple of them on every slide, like when I take him out of a certain pond water, but I just don't know exactly what he is. It might be some kind of euplotes, but I'd be lying if I told you that for sure. This is another kind of rotifer right there. Real tiny, real tiny. And let me go back to my other slide real quick. See if I can find that Dileptus. Dileptus is pretty cool. And if you could ever see him eating, you surely would say wow, because he stuns stuff with that nose right there, and he zaps it, and sometimes it'll cut him in half. I don't think I ever did a Dileptus under Haunt. He looks like a ghost. Yeah, Crystal. And you can see those long things right there, those long skinny things. That's bacteria also, but it's cyanobacteria. It's colonies of bacteria that acquired the ability to produce oxygen through chlorophyll and stuff. Those are responsible for all the oxygen on Earth from about 3 billion years ago, I believe. Maybe not that long, 2 billion. That's when all the oxygen came to Earth, when those things got proliferated. That sure is pretty. But he's dangerous. Don't be fooled. I've seen him zap a Paramecium before. Just Paramecium swam by and it just touched that nose, and the Paramecium got cut in half. So. Okay, Greg. I'm gonna go about another 5 minutes here, and then I'm gonna go get my granddaughter set up, and we're gonna eat lunch. So I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes. Let's watch this guy for 5 minutes. Any questions? I'll be back on tonight, probably on Reddit and YouTube. Yeah, Tracy. No, there's poison There's both. Look it up. I don't have my books here, but there's the nose is called a proboscis, and it just means a sort of like a long nose. But yeah, there's little organelles on the end of it that actually have poison on them and can tear. So you get a little of both. And I mean, I've seen it a couple of times. I mean, it just rips it. It can rip it apart. I mean, just with one touch. So it's really strange. Yeah, Tracy, I try to answer. You know, this stream I got 13, and I'd like to have thousands like I get on Reddit. Sometimes on Reddit the questions are coming by so fast I can't even see them. But if I see the question, I can answer it. I'll answer it. Whoa, no, he got it. You saw that? Oh, come on. All right, now watch. Now he just stunned that thing. So for some reason he didn't eat it. But let's see what this thing's doing over here. So notice he just touched. Did y'all see that? So look at him. He's in deep pain here. So waited just enough time. See how it's having a fit? Hopefully y'all saw that. Did y'all see that? Yeah, it looks like he's dying. Thanks, Lauren. Uh-oh, that's a hookworm. That's a hookworm. Now look, if y'all saw that Dileptus, he just killed that thing. So that coleps is dying. Let me zoom in. Hang on. So I'm glad right before I left you got to see. So you could see this coleps. He's all out of whack here. He is not making it. So you saw it. I mean, I'm glad y'all saw it. That was pretty cool. Now, if he just for some reason he didn't like the taste of them. I guess I don't know why, but he had it, and you saw how he didn't even have to do anything. It just got stuck to it and poisoned it, and so I doubt this thing will recover. So if you notice, before it hit him, he was fun-loving, running around, having a good time, and now that proboscis hit it, and it was done. Now you got this other thing here. This is a spirostomum. He might have got hit also, and this is some kind of graveyard here. So, but these things right here, they're just single-cell creatures, so they can wiggle around like this for hours and hours. And guess what? Sometimes they recover. But this guy looks like he really got zapped. So that was pretty awesome. All right, so y'all get to see it. That was a treat. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hate to be cruel, but you know, it's nature. And these coleps here, look, they're not endangered species. So, yeah, all that stuff right there looks like bacteria that's immobile. You know, just not moving. Some of it is moving, but coleps are brutal themselves. They have poison on the ends of them, and if something's dying, these coleps will gang up on them and really tear them apart. So And really, he doesn't look so much like a coleps anymore, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was when he hit him, but I could be wrong. Yeah, and just to answer your question, that stuff does look like bacteria. You could barely see some of it still moving around. Not much though. All right, I'm gonna go find pal the Dileptus one more time. Let's watch him for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna hit the road. I think there was only 1 or 2 Paramecium on here, so they must be making themselves scarce. Those other guys are playing chicken with him. It's like they taunting him, huh? Yeah, they just coming up, and I think they sizing him up because they'll attack something like this if they have enough coleps. I mean, you can get hundreds and hundreds of coleps, and they'll attack these guys and just eat them alive. So I think they were sizing him up. I'd like to see him get one more. Ooh, ooh. I don't know. He just zapped that other one and spit him out. It didn't even try to eat him. Maybe it tastes bad. But you can see these coleps. They look like they're trying to harass him a little bit, huh? There's a rotifer. Let's see if he gets him. Nope. It's almost like those coleps know that if they get by that nose, they're in trouble. I don't think they taste, no. I mean, they're single-celled animals or single-celled creatures, so no taste buds or anything like that. But, through genetics, they might just, oh, look, he didn't get that one, I don't think. Oh, yeah, he did get him. He got him. So just through genetics, they'll know what to spit out and what to keep. But he just got that one, too. So there he goes, another one. Yeah, that dude looked like he got his ass kicked. Yeah, I mean, look at how he looks now. I mean, he actually got all torn up. He does not even look like a coleps anymore. I mean, hardly at all. Let me find a regular coleps. Look at him. So once these guys get zapped, it just completely. That's a rotifer. That's not a coleps. This was a coleps, and you could just see how he's totally destroyed. I mean, he's just not the same creature anymore. All right, so this is a regular coleps. So this is what, yeah, thanks, Crystal. This is what the coleps looked like before he got zapped right here. And is that coleps eating him? Did he come around and he's going to eat it? He's going to cannibalize? Yeah, he did. This coleps came around and he's going to eat the dead one that the Dileptus, yep, his buddy is eating him. So you can see how brutal they are. So y'all getting a treat here. There's 9 people on here. This is pretty awesome. This is stuff I get to see when I'm looking through the microscope. If I have a couple of hours to spare. but I rarely get other people to see this with me. So yeah, this right here, I got this from a golf course pond. So I got this from a golf course pond, and this thing has a lot of this water, not this particular drop, but that golf course had a lot of hookworms in it. And look how big this guy is. Look, doop 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 doop. Get him, man. So those other guys hang around, and if the Dileptus hits them, the other coleps come and eat their own. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. A Dileptus strike something, and then their own species come and finish them off. But that's what I was telling you about these coleps. They're like cannibals, and they're ruthless. Yeah, about 2,000 with really great expensive optics. Really expensive lenses. You can get about 2,000. Normal, like my microscope can go to 1,000, but you got to put a drop of oil on it, or the light between the air and the specimen interferes, so it's called oil immersion. So that would be true with 2,000 also. But, it gets to a limit. 2,000, you're not going to see much. Now watch, let's see real quick. This is about 1,200 digital zoom, okay? So this doesn't count as really 1,200. So you could see the stuff, but it's digital zoom, okay? And it doesn't count. If you were going to do this with a regular lens, you'd get all kind of distortions. So worse than the digital zoom. So, okay, gang, unless he zaps something else, I'm going to hit the road in about 1 minute. So let's see what he does here. And I'll be on later tonight. If y'all can come by, I'll probably start on Reddit, and then I'll come back. I'll come to YouTube to get some views on YouTube. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, thanks, Crystal. I rarely can stream during the day. I have my granddaughter most days, and it's real noisy, and she's demanding, and she gets bored looking at this, so got to take care of her. So I usually stream at night, but I'm going to make a good effort to get on tonight on Reddit first, and then to YouTube. Okay, gang, with that, I'm going to hit the road. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Arthur. Bye-bye, y'all.